In this video, we play a couple pocket pairs, make someone rage quit, and participate in a 5-bet pot. Voids here, back on our video, episode 22 of the Bankroll Challenge. Our starting bankroll today is 132.92. Playing some more NL2. Bottom for our typical 4 chips, putting us our current bankroll up there in the top right at 128.92. We're playing on ClubWPT Gold. The first hand of the night, we have Ace 10 right here. There is a raise behind me. I put in the call, and then these two guys just shove all in. All I see with ace 10. I'm not going to get involved in this. I'm just going to fold. They had kings and queens. So it looks like this table might be action packed. And now we're going to move on to this one. I got ace king right here in the big blind. There looks like there's gonna be a raise to 0.06 chips. Hopefully no one puts in a 3-bet because that's what I'm looking to do. I don't really want to put in a 4-bet with this hand. I could, but I don't want to. But and that's exactly what happens. Someone raises up to 0.32 chips, and I'm just gonna call. Like I said, I don't really want to 4-bet this hand. Maybe if it was suited, I would, but we're just gonna call. Go 3 ways to the flop. A queen 7-8 with 2 diamonds. I had a king of diamonds, and now they lead out right here with another 0.32 chips. And I just don't like the price, given that he 3-bet the pot. And I don't know, just something about it. Just I don't think I should continue this one. So I actually landed up folding ace king right here. Let me know if you guys will fold this. I know it's one of those premium hands, but maybe he has something like queens, ace key queen, or something like that. I doubt he'll do this with king queen. We're gonna see the end of it because we're just a little curious of what he had. As you guys can tell so far, with him going all in, this is an action packed table. It just seems like people are just throwing their chips in the middle, which is good sometimes. Obviously, when you're on the other end of that and receiving all the chips compared to losing. But like I said, he had ace queen right there. He took that one down. And right here, I have ace king again. The button I raise it up, we get one card, 2 ways to the flop of 10, 10, 7. So not the best for me, but I could easily have a 10 in this range. So I'm gonna raise it up to 0.26 chips, and we're gonna take down our first hand of the night. It took me a little bit to get my groove in this one, as you guys could tell, but always seeing the first one go in, it gives you a little confidence boost. And now right here, I got queen 10 of hearts. I'm gonna raise it up in the undergun +1 position to 0.06 chips. Hopefully we go heads up, and this guy just shoves all in again. This is the second time he shoves all in. Just like, what could he possibly do in this? And he just seems like he's one of those guys that only shoves with aces, kings, and kings with that. So I'm just gonna fold. And I was curious if I would have got there, and I wouldn't have. But now we are looking at ace king for like the third or fourth time already in this single video. But I haven't really been able to hit anything, and people are just shoving all in. It's not really the type of poker I like to play, to be honest with you. But we're going heads up right here. Flop's gonna come 3, 10, 7. I hit nothing once again, so I'm just gonna bet since I was the pre-flop aggressor. And now he puts in the call. Now the turn gives us the king, so I improve to top pair, top kicker. But he can easily have a king in his hand. I'm still on checking. He checks the bat, so that tells me 99% time I am good here. I am trying to go for a bit of value right here. Go about 0.20 chips right here, and he folds. So I'm not really getting the best type of action out of this table, to be honest with you. But now this one, we are looking at king queen offsuit. I raise it to my standard raise size, which is 0.0 chips. We're gonna get one call from the button, and now the other guy takes his time, thinks about it for a little bit. He eventually decides to put in the fold. Actually, I thought it was gonna call. But now we're heads up to the flop of queen 9-6. So I flop top pair, second best kicker. Hopefully we can get a little more value out of this hand than last. I put in a raise to 0.06 chips, and he folds. So not the best. So after that one, we're gonna get king queen once again. Hopefully this time I hit something, but hopefully I get some value out of this hand. At this point, I see a bunch of people go all in and stuff like that. I think this is my last hand. I'm actually gonna switch tables. It just too much gambling for me. I wasn't able to play my game properly, and when I had a good hand, I felt like everyone just folded. But here I raise it up to 0.06 chips again. I'm gonna get everyone else to fold behind me, so I'm in ultimate position, which I love. And now the blinds put in the call, which I don't love because obviously they can have really strong starting hands, given that their range should be a little higher. And now the flop's coming 4 Jack, so I hit absolutely nothing. And now I just hope that it checks through and maybe one of these turns his a king, is a queen. But as I say that, a person right next to me on my right actually puts in the call, and I was kind of frustrated at this point, so I put in the call as well. I'm sorry, he puts in the bet. I put in the call. Got a little ahead of myself, and then we get a re-raise right there. So I don't really know what to think at this point. I'm just gonna throw this one away. Like I said, probably not gonna be my last hand at the table because I just can't replay the way I want to. We're just gonna watch this, see how it plays out. Obviously, as of right now, I haven't hit anything. I had no straight draws, no flush draws. So this table was not good luck to me. And then he just takes it down right there with his aggression. But we changed tables, and one of our first tables is pocket fives. I'm obviously going to put in this call with 0.06 chips, and I bought in for the same amount I came into the that I left the other table with. So I bought into this table with 3.78 chips. I chipped down a little bit. It took me a little bit to find a playable hand, but with 3 ways to the flop of 8 9 king. So I don't hit anything either, and so far as you guys can see, I have a decent amount of pocket pairs this video. Just so far, I haven't been able to hit anything. I have some pretty good hands. I'm gonna have to fold this one to a big bet 0.20 chips, cause so even though we didn't win that last hand, hopefully this table is a little better than the last table. Just like the last video I actually posted, sometimes switching table just does it, man. Sometimes you need to see different cards, different decks, just different luck, honestly. But we're gonna move into this hand right here. I got pocket sixes. It works its way around to me a one limper. I'm obviously gonna put in a race 0.06 chips. Hopefully the big blind doesn't wake up with something. He can have all the kings and aces in his hand. He can have some type of tens, nines, and stuff like that. Hopefully, we're not dominant. He puts in the call. Now, the limper actually puts in the call as well, but doesn't really matter when I hit a six on the flop of six, king, three with two clubs. Obviously, I get there with my set. I hope they do have kings in their hands. Hopefully, they have ace, king, or something, even though I feel like that's very unlikely because they should be 3 betting. The limper should be raising it. But even if they have some type of first draw, it doesn't matter because I also get a bolt of full house with the three on the turn. So I have the absolute nuts unless someone has pocket kings, which I said they shouldn't be having. And they both call, which is even better. Now the river gives us a 10 of diamonds. I'm gonna go for some value, 0.2 chips. Hopefully they have a 10 in their hand, and I think a 10 will call this given the way the streets have been playing. And now I get re-raised pretty large, 2.92 chips. And honestly, I look at that re-raise, and I don't think it's big enough. I'm gonna re-raise him right back. So I'm gonna go exactly double. I'm gonna go 1.84 chips. He immediately calls with his set of threes. He thought he got there with that three, but my full house beats that.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And we scoop a really good pot right there. So, like I said, coming into this hand, sometimes you just need to switch tables, and exactly what happens. I switched tables, and the favor went in my way. But right here, I got a Queen 10 offsuit, probably close to the end of my opening range right here. So I raised that to 0.06, just immediately get re-raised to the guy to my left to point 0.10. Obviously, not the biggest, but he might be a little heated given that I had a boat and I destroy his set of threes right there. So I'm gonna put in the call. I'm gonna humor him. I'm gonna put in the call. The Fox gonna come 10, 7, 4. It checks through, and now another 7 on the turn. So obviously I had top pair. Third base kicker. I slow down and check it just to see what he's doing. He checks it right back. So I'm guessing I'm good here. Unless he's gonna try to re-raise me again. I don't already know what hands he'll be doing this with, like what type of values he'll be doing. And he folds on the river when it was a 5 of diamonds. So back to back hands I won against the same opponent. He must be seeing red right now. Honestly, he probably thought that 3 bet right there would have got me to fold, but you're gonna have to go a lot bigger than that. Just raising to two big blinds is not gonna get the job done. Just to let you know in the future. But right here, I got a King Jack in middle position. There's a small raise, 2.04 chips, and King Jack's not really in my 3 bet range, even though it's a small raise. But I'm just gonna put in the call, which is gonna allow multiple people to put in the call as well. Maybe I should 3 bet it so we won't necessarily go multi ways to the flop. But as I say that, someone min clicks and they min click again. So this is what one, two, one, two, three, like a 4 bet pot already, 5 bet pot. So kind of interesting. But I'm just gonna follow it because like, why would I play this hand? I know the raising size was kind of small, but it's just odd. Like you don't really see double min original min clicks and double min click 3 bets and 4 bets. So we're gonna watch this one because we're kind of funny how it got here, but the flop is 7-7 king, so I will hit top pair. I might be good here. Who knows? He bets out for point 0.10 chips, so and the other guy folds. I think my kings would have been good there actually. So now we have 8-6 right here in the big blind. Obviously not a suited connector, but given that it's gonna work its way around to the blinds, I'm gonna play this one. He raises it to 0.06 chips. I'm gonna obviously put in the call right here, like I said. Obviously, it's not the best hand. It would be better if it was actually Suited Connector, but the Fox can come 4-2-7, so I have a straight draw. If any 5 comes out, I'm going to put in the call. And now another 8 of spades, so obviously the flush draw gets there. He's still down and checking. I'm going to use this as protection. I'm going to bet he quickly snaps it off, which is kind of scary. Maybe he has a flush draw, maybe he has some overcards, but doesn't really matter when I hit an 8. I feel like I'm good here. I put in the call, and he quickly calls with aces, so I win again 8-6 against aces. Pretty bad beat right there, if you ask me. Obviously, he does lose to a flush draw, but I don't think either one of us was accounting for that one. But now, right here, one of the feature hands of the night, Pocket Kings. I'm in the button. Love to have one of these premium hands in the button, just so you get to see what transpires in front of you. And now this guy's gonna slow down. The guy I just won against with the aces right here. He's gonna land up putting in a bet to 0.08 chips, and given that it's kings right here, you know I have to 3 bet this, given the position, given that it's kings and all that. So I put in the 3 bet right here at 0.24 chips, and then I get re-raised right there to 0.40. I actually love seeing that right there, especially he's in blind. He might have aces though, but if he has aces, he has aces. But right here, and then the person that initially had aces the last hand puts in another 4 bet. So this is the 5 bet pot I'm telling you about. I kind of explored it, but I'm also gonna put in the re-raise right here. I don't think he has the guy on my right has aces. I'm worried about the guy on my left. He folds, so I shove all in. Like I said, he just has aces last hand. Does he really have aces again? I don't think so. He takes a while and he actually lands up folding the hand. And then, as you can see, the person we had beat pocket aces, the guy that went in the 5 bet pot with, he actually rage quit the table after that one, which is pretty funny. First time I ever made that happen. But given that I knew he had aces in hand before, I was pretty confident my kings were his best right there. But we're gonna move on to something completely opposite to pocket king, which is pocket twos right here. The flop's gonna come queen 9-4 heads up. I'm gonna be the aggressor post flop, and I take it down in pocket two. So maybe he thought I had a queen or some type of 9 in my hand. Maybe he has some type of serious connector. But we're gonna do a step up from those pocket twos all the way up to pocket fives, a whole 3 cards higher. There is a small bet to 0.04 chips for the price. I can't really go anywhere. I'm gonna put in the call, especially given I'm in the big blind. I'm defending my big blind right here. Hopefully this guy gets out of the way. I can play against the small blind, just blind versus blind action. But he takes a while to think about it. He eventually decides to put in the call, which is kind of interesting. Usually when it take that long, they usually fold. So maybe he has something on the pretty good or pretty bad. I don't really know what to think about. But the flop's gonna go queen ace 4. And now we're gonna see a turn card that's 7 of hearts, and he's gonna go pretty big. He bet one big blind on the flop, so I'm just gonna fold right here. And I was curious what he had, and just I wouldn't have got there with my set. I rabbit hunted right there, but right here I'm looking at queen 10 of hearts in the cutoff. I raised it at 0.06 chips. The same guy that 3 bet me in the 2 pots earlier raises it to 0.24 chips. I'm just gonna put in the call, get some action right here. The Fox gonna come 8-9-6, so I'm a jack away from a straight. I'm gonna check it over to him, and he's gonna go pretty big. So obviously, charging any type of straight draws, any type of flush draws, a pre penny. That's exactly how I want to play those hands right there. I was curious to check, and I just didn't hit anything either on the rabbit. But that's a good example of how to use the sizing to your advantage. Maybe he didn't have some type of high cards, but he was able to price me out to see the turn. So good example right there. Good play by him. But we're gonna move on one step below pocket fours. I'm gonna raise it up to 0.06 chips right here. Hopefully get the majority of people to fold, especially this button. I really want to be last act, especially with fours right here. Looks like the big blind wakes up with something and bets to 0.10 chips, a little three bet, and for the price of it, I don't think I can go anywhere honestly. Just like I said, he went bigger, I probably would have folded, but I'm gonna put in the call. The Fox can come ace 3 6, so I have a gut shot straight draw right here with any two on the board. But once again, they go pretty big right here. Just they kind of price me out of all my straight draws and my flush draws right here in the last couple of hands, which is good on them. Puts me in definitely a hard situation. I'm gonna have to fold, just the price of it, and I'm just hunting down one card. It can't really be too hopeful that I hit that one card, but like I said, good play on them. We're gonna move on to our next hand right here. Pocket sixes and the button. I raise it to 0.6 chips. We get a couple colors as you typically do in this website. The Fox can come 2 5 3. So I don't really think they should have these type of cards in their hands. They might have some type of, I don't know, maybe some like ace. They could have ace five and stuff like that, but I don't think they ever had two pair right here. Which is why when he leads out right here for 0.15 chips, it's kind of suspicious. Maybe he has like ace five or something like that. Given that he limped into the pot, he can easily have one of those hands. But my sixes are obviously best here. You shouldn't really have a 10. You shouldn't be playing like a suited connector as a 10 like that. So I'm just gonna put in the call and do this check call every single time. Well, not even check call. Wait for him to put in the raise, and I'll probably call right here, especially with the three on the river. Doesn't really change much. So I'm gonna re-raise him right here. He snaps, and he did have one of those hands were just like a five ace, five queen, stuff like that. So good read by me right there, especially given that the fact that he limped in. And next, our last hand of the night is gonna be pocket aces right here. There is a raise to 0.10 chips. I can't let that stand with having the best hand in poker. I raise it up to 3x to 0.30 chips, and he puts in the call, which is I'd love to see. The Fox comes 7-5 king. I'm hoping he has a king right here, so I'm so down to check it to him. Hopefully he puts in a bet, but no, he decides to check it over. And now the four of clubs right here. I'm gonna go for some value and hopefully deter any type of flush draws, and he decides to fold, so he takes down the last hand of the night. Another successful session in the books. Today our starting stack when coming into the day was 132.92. We are leaving the table with a stack of 9.08. So putting our difference right there at a positive 5.08 on the session. Thankfully, we switched tables. So that leaves our new total bankroll up there on the screen, as you see, at 138 even. So slowly but surely, we're climbing that mountain, guys. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you on the next one.